Another horrible sequel. Makes me sick!
Allie Finale Studios.
Hocus Pocus 2. In a word, bland, boring, dry cereal, dry toast. How can you make the sequel to one of the dark fantasy comedy cult classics boring? But somehow they managed to do that. So from here on out there will be spoilers in the rest of this review, so if you'd like to not listen to that and be surprised and watch it, then I recommend you turn it off now.
They were right to fear thee. Magic has a way of uniting.
You have 3 phenomenal triple threats working for you, with Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy and Jimmy, and yet you do nothing with them. Or at least what you do is bland and cringe. They deserved a far better script than this. On top of that, it seems like the lighting director decided to put some ugly, muddy filter all over everybody, and everyone looked awful. Don't know why they chose to do that. There was literally a moment right at the beginning where they go into a Walgreens. Product placement. Yeah, because we have to have that in every movie now. And they have that as ugly fluorescence on all of the actors, and it just makes everyone look awful. I mean, come on. Why would you deliberately choose that location, aside from maybe that they were their sponsor, who knows? But there was one moment, and it's sad because this movie has like a couple of moments where it's like, oh, that could have been a cool thing, where Mary grabs like a face mask and she goes, "It's the face of a newborn," and then she takes a bite out of it. That's very Mary, so I did appreciate that. But the writing really bogs us down. I mean, right at the beginning, they have to explain the origin story of the Sanderson sisters, and I am so tired of films doing that. Hand-holding the audience and being like, oh, well, this is where this comes from, and this is where that... No, I don't need to know where magic comes from. I don't need to know how the Sanderson sisters came to be. I like them being more of a mystery. They're soul-stealing witches. Let them be soul-stealing witches. So at the beginning, Winifred is trying not to marry this man in a Puritan village, and she goes, I don't want to marry him, and he goes, oh, thank God. But then immediately afterwards he goes, because she's ugly. And it's like, so you felt like you had to explain the joke to the audience? What are we, 5? Like, that's someone who doesn't have any faith in their own writing. But in any case, leave things up to ambiguity. Some of my favorite works, like Shadow of the Colossus, or other things by Stephen King, fascinate me because they don't have to explain away everything. Some things are just mysterious. Let them be mysterious. Boy, they were so close to a cool idea because they had a moment where Sarah almost had an interesting character arc. Near the end of the story, all 3 of the Sanderson sisters get really cool powers, like they get like a supercharge. And Mary and Sarah feel what it's like to be as strong as Winifred for the first time. And Sarah kind of is like, hey, you've been a little disrespectful to me. I don't like you treating me this way. And Winifred, you know, they have a standoff, her and Sarah, for a moment. And I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna have like a fight. Maybe they're gonna argue. Like, this would be great growth. And then Sarah's immediately, oh yes, Winnie. It's like, oh, come on. Give her that moment. Let that play out. That could have been interesting. It would have been a great dynamic. But no, they shy away from anything that might be remotely interesting in this film. I mean, half the time, I can't even remember the 3 main girls because the writing for them was so bland and they're not strong enough actors yet to carry a bad script. So I'll be interested to see if they're in anything else in the future, but for now, it just overall hashtag not my Sanderson sisters because they're clearly trying to push those 3 as the new ones and I'm like, sorry, can't even come close. Ooh, a dick candle. Wonder how that made it past the Disney censors. I love Doug Jones. I love him in every Guillermo del Toro film. He is a phenomenal physical actor. Props to him for always wearing heavy prosthetics and makeups and being able to emote through that. And I'm always sad, like, that he doesn't get as many speaking roles, so I was like, oh cool, he's back as Billy Butcherson. Hey, maybe he'll get some more lines. And I was like, yay, he's speaking more. And as the scene's going on, I'm like, oh no, he shouldn't be speaking more. They butchered Billy Butcherson. Whew, I don't know what the director's choice was on that, but the more he talked, the less interesting he got. It's kind of the same thing with the Sanderson sisters. When they first appeared, they were singing and it was kind of out of nowhere, and I'm like, immediately non-threatening. Like, come on! Let them be mysterious. Let them have their big entrance. They don't have to sing every second. At least in the first one, like, their singing made sense along with the story because they were doing it to bewitch a crowd. They were at a party. It fit narratively. This didn't. They just got summoned, popped up, and you know, and I'm like, oh god, okay, this is gonna be bad.
Really? Her skirt is cut all the way up to her crotch. Whose idea was that?
This movie's biggest crime is that it's so boring despite the fact that it has 5 different plot lines running concurrently. And I couldn't tell you a single one until I looked them back up on Wikipedia the day after. There's a mayor trying to get a candy apple. The Sanderson sisters are trying to do a power spell to become the most powerful witches. The main 3 girls are trying to banish them back to hell. Billy Butcherson and, I had to look up his name, Gilbert, the man who runs the magic shop, are trying to get ingredients for the Sanderson sisters spell. And all of this is just too much to put at once. They're doing so much that at the same time it all comes out to nothing.
Another instance of iffy writing was at the end, where Winifred gets a redemption arc. I mean, really? Come on! We don't need a Grinch moment here.
Hate, 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 hate. Double hate.
I cannot rightly recommend this movie for people that don't like the first one or fans. It's just such a boring mess, and it's trying to be so many different things at once that it ends up being nothing at all, which is a huge disappointment. Because I know a lot of people were looking forward to this, and it's a shame because it could have put new talent on the map, and it could have brought out more love for the main 3 actresses, but as stands, it's completely forgettable. No one will watch it past this Halloween, and that will be it. So if you like this review, feel free to check out some of my other videos, and I will catch you on the flip side. I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. You'll watch my videos in due time. Your wretched little lives have all been cursed 'cause of all the witches working. And the worst, I put a spell on you, and now you're mine. Watch Allie Studios videos. Bye.